going to the middle.
Well, they have vastly varying differences in how long they are.
That is true. We had talked last week in the group that I ran with last time about looking at Mythic dungeon tools, but I think that was mostly Carrot and others who were interested in that, and they're not here tonight. Does anybody here have any interest in exploring MDT?
I don't even know what that is, unfortunately.
Mythic Dungeon Tools is a routing add-on that'll allow you to look at like mob count and dungeon pathing in a way that is editable and shareable.
I would just have to download it and install it, but yeah.
Okay. Then
What
give
dungeon?
me Necrotic Wake is where we're heading.
That's the one that sounds like it should be Maldraxxus, but is actually in Bastion.
Correct.
Because Maldraxxus is attacking Bastion.
Spoilers?
God!
I hate to tell you, Chief, but you already know that.
What?
Maybe I closed my eyes the whole time. Jeepers.
Jeepers creepers.
Where's the closest flight path to that one? I should know this.
One of these anima thingamadudes to it, yeah. Is it?
I have a question. When you say you drop your key level, how do you do that?
If you zone into a keystone dungeon, put your keystone in, and then leave the dungeon and reset, it will become the exact same dungeon at one level lower than what you had before. So when I put my Necrotic Wake 4 in, I'll leave the dungeon and reset all instances, and it will become a Necrotic Wake 3.
Because you effectively have failed it, and when you fail it, it's like, okay, so maybe it's the key dungeon number that they just couldn't get past something. So it allows you to drop it one lower to potentially be able to finish it in time.
Yeah, no, okay. I mean, I Googled that and I was like, are they really running in and out? Because I've never seen anybody do that, but got it.
It's easiest to do, like, I'll drop group when I get there. That way I just do it by myself. That way we don't have to have 5 people running in and out. And then you guys can just
Makes
re-invite
sense.
me when I'm done. But yeah. To my knowledge,
All
there's
right.
not a more effective way.
I was gonna say, I mean, I thought there was like some new thing with Shadowlands, so I was like, okay, maybe Google didn't have the answer, but it did.
It did.
It always.
I feel like Google always knows. Zell, I promoted you to leader. I'm going to drop group, kill my key. You're in charge now. So, if anybody is curious in playing with the add-on, use this time now to download Mythic Dungeon Tools. And before we run, we'll do a quick little basics tutorial.
Are we Googling things? Because that's a basics tutorial.
It is a basics tutorial, that's for sure.
Who has a squeaky toy?
Yeah, it's the pups. I have to put them out of my misery.
Big boy?
All 3 of them are just, they just had dinner, so they're super excited about playing with toys.
Yeah.
And giving them the gentle shh is only like further encouragement to make a ton of noise. We're doing it. He wants us to do it louder. He can barely hear us. Yes.
I just want to let you know they're the goodest.
Way to read between the lines, puppers.
They are the bestest.
Alright, Zell, let me see if I can request an invitation.
True. I'm changing my whole UI this weekend.
That's a massive undertaking.
Yeah, I watched a streamer who had a really awesome UI for Warlock, and he doesn't use Elf UI, unfortunately.
And now it's time
He
to
uses
be
Bartender, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I love Bartender.
And a couple other mods, and I'm like, but I want it to look like that, and he has things exactly where I want them.
Prepare for combat. What if I don't want to?
You were not prepared.
Alright. I guess it's easiest if I screen share.
I only have one monitor, so I will try to tab back and forth.
Do or do not.
There is no try.
Except I'm right here.
I feel like you're prepping that.
Hey, I can pop it up.
Alright. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yep, got it.
Alright. So this is what Mythic Dungeon Tools looks like. This is MDT's Necrotic Wake Dungeon. We can click New, name it whatever we want. And we've created a new route. So first, like, just 10,000 foot overview is it's a map of the dungeon true to what you're looking at in game, and it shows you all of the mobs in the game. If you look over them, it tells you what their hit points are, what their enemy count force is as a number and as a percentage value to completion. And if you click on the mobs with a right click, it'll show you everything you could ever possibly want to know about them. Their type. This is the special ability that the mob will cast when it's not auto-attacking. In this case, this guy just leaps. The little Patrick soldiers jump around. Down here, you can see all of the things it's affected by. So in other words, this thing can be CC'd any number of possible ways. It can be stunned, slowed, incapacitated, root, silenced, repentanced, and it can be taunted. In case you were curious, there are some mobs that like can't be taunted, or some mobs that can't be CC'd. Like this, for example, the Zolramus Gatekeeper apparently cannot be CC'd, but he can be taunted. It's useful for gaining understanding of the dungeon if you don't already know what certain mobs do. Like if someone tells you that, let's find Narzuda, this pull here is extremely dangerous. Why is everybody so afraid of this pull? You can look down all of his abilities here and see that not only can he not be CC'd, he also does a number of extremely potent abilities, including Death Burst, which is real bad. The most benefit you get from this tool is by routing. So anytime, like, all of these mobs are linked. If you pull one of these guys, you pull all four of these Patchwork Soldiers. So you can see when I clicked on them, it highlighted all four of them pink, and then in this right-hand column here, it says 5.7%. So as you know, to complete a key, you have to achieve 100% ad count. This shows you how close you are to that count with these four creatures dead. Now, say that we wanted to also pull this guy, the Corpse Harvester, with this pull. Killing all five of these things would gain us 7.1%. Now, there are two schools of thought, and this is kind of where beginners versus intermediates happen. You can just keep clicking mobs like this in packs until you hit 100%, and then you just know you have to kill everything that's highlighted. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a totally fine beginner way to approach this tool. The intermediate step is by breaking them up into pulls as you will tank them. So I will do this pull where I pull all five of these things together, and then you can click the Add Pull button, and then next we'll take this Corpse Harvester, Patchwork Soldier, and Vanguard as pull number 2. Then we'll click Add Pull, and I'll take these Blight Bags, and then the next pull is this guy here. Then the next pull is this guy plus these guys, and then the next pull is the boss. Then the next pull is this giant pack up here. The next pull isn't until these two guys down here. And you can see up here, it's keeping a running tally with this blue progression bar, showing us basically where we are in terms of absolute count versus percentage. So by the time we hit this Sorcerer Bone Carver pack, we'll be at just shy of 40%. The important thing to remember is that you select the correct affixes from this drop-down menu for week. So this week we are bolstering, necrotic, fortified, or fortified, bolstering necrotic, tyrannical, prideful. Now, if you are unsure of routing, or you don't know where skips are, or you don't want to do this kind of work, but you still want to use the tool, there are several imports. I like this one here. Can you guys see this website? I'm not sure what it's sharing versus not.
Nope.
Okay. Raider.io has something called the weekly routes. You can just Google Raider.io weekly route, and it's put together by one of the guys who casts the MDI, Dratnos, and he does this every week. He will write a brief little synopsis of what you can expect in each dungeon, what to look out for in terms of troubling pulls, and then he'll give you 2 importable MDI strings, one for with skips and one for without skips. And you can just import that into the MDT, the Mythic Dungeon tool, and then share that route with your group. That requires like 0 effort or thought on your part. It's just, or if you're just not familiar or super comfortable with developing your own routes, or you're not really sure what a good route versus a bad route is, bare minimum, if you just walk into a dungeon and someone says, where are we going? And you're the guy calling the shots, you can just go to the weekly route, download the Necrotic Wake one. We're going to choose the Necrotic Wake with no skips, copy that import string, and then come back to Mythic Dungeon Tools. The import button is up here in the top right hand corner. Import, paste that string, okay, and import it. And now this is Dratnos' route. You can see we'll end the dungeon at 101.7%, and you can see everything he recommends doing for a fairly clean, simple route. Below a 10, it's especially irrelevant, because you're not really concerned with where pridefuls are going to happen. But once you get into the 10 plus key range, every 20% you'll spawn a prideful mob. So a tool like this can be very helpful in trying to guide and predict where we're going to be getting those pridefuls, because you don't want them just randomly in between 2 trash pulls. On a tyrannical week, you really want to aim to put them probably on a boss. There's divergent schools of thought. Some people want to keep like a big fortified trash pull for pridefuls on a fortified week. Basically, that's up to you, but you want to make sure that you're intentionally choosing when you're spawning that prideful. You don't want it to be a surprise. And so something like this is a useful tool both for knowing for yourself as the tank or shot caller when those are going to happen, and then being able to share that with the group. Like, after this pull here, we're going to get prideful for the boss. So after we do this big pull here, so this triangular red pull he's got is a double pull, pulling the soldiers into this Vanguard pack. That's 8 mobs, which ranges between 11 and 23%, which means that all of these have to die very close together, because as soon as you hit 20, that prideful mob's going to spawn. It doesn't care what else is going on. So you'll want to kill everything pretty symmetrically, because as soon as that pride spawns, you have to DPS the pride. Once the pride is dead, you get 60 seconds of a giant DPS buff, so you'll go right into Blightbone with that. I don't want to overwhelm anybody with too much information, but this is the basics of what Mythic Dungeon Tools is best used for. Any questions?
Nope.
So
Sounds good.
for funsies, let's just run Dratnos' route here. He does not pull the Corpse Harvester, so if everybody is ready.
You probably need to be in the group, though.
So you need to invite try.
I thought I had
Well, he was
requested
gonna,
it.
but he was doing stuff.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Also, I haven't been able to see the last, like, we'll say 5 minutes of the stream, but I've been able to hear you. I don't know if this is just a me thing or not.
Interesting. Like on stream?
Yep.
Hmm.
Well,
I thought he was just doing it on another monitor.
I saw it.
in fact, the last thing I heard/saw was you talking about the import button. And I was like, oh, I see the import button. I don't see him clicking it, but I see it.
Well, the good news is, after we get this key done, one of us, that's not me, will be designing the next route for the next key.
Oh.
Now, if by design, do you mean just take from Raider.io?
I'm fine with that. However you're comfortable doing it, I just want somebody else to have the experience of coming up with a route and calling the shots. You'll be navigating. Could you ready check for us?
Don't worry, I'm almost here.
Oh, you're not
Oh,
here. Let's
I'm
go
Kyrian,
summon.
by the way.
Excellent. I am also, but there's a lot of good usefulness for Kyrians here with repairing the golems. So when we get to that very first golem, you see him way back, slunched back to the right of Gorchop, or Blightbone. You can summon your Kyrian Steward, and he'll get a new talk button to repair. Okay, cool.
Do you think we have 5 minutes till that?
I want to say that the summon steward ability gets reset with the zone in, but I just had to get my file, so I'm not 100% sure. Like, I'm rolling the dice, but I can't guarantee. Thank you for the health stones. Alright. Are we ready?
Yep.
Ready.
Does everyone know about the weapons throughout this dungeon?
I've seen other people use them.
Okay. Once we start, and the key is in, I'm going to imprison the blue corpse harvester over here. We're not going to pull him, but if somebody wants to go over behind this impaled angel and pick up that forgotten forge hammer, we can use that on Blightbone. Three, 2, 1.
Oh yeah, and the steward was reset.
Good. I was hoping that was the case, but... Is anybody in combat with that guy?
Nope.
Nope.
Excellent.
I'm in combat with something. So probably.
Who got the hammer?
I did.
Yeah, it looked like you got a little too close, so when that breaks, he's going to come find you.
Oh, fun.
It's alright, we'll pull him once we're done with this pull. I'm gonna pull these blade bags with us. This is another reason or another valuable insight with Mythic Dungeon tools is, like, we weren't intending to pull that person, so it helps you kind of visualize where you need to go when it's time to call an audible like that. Somebody pick up this spear, the javelin.
A good thing to note, you can have one of every weapon if you really wanted.
And they don't go away when you die anymore. As of 2 days ago.
Pacified me right after my divine shield came away. That's some timing.
Go ahead and do the thing.
Starting.
Oh, I'm Kyrian. I totally forgot about that.
Everybody get annoyed?
I was not thinking about that.
We are pulling the boss. Well, I am pulling the boss.
Don't get hit by shit. I'm popping off.
Remember to kill these worms quick.
don't like that.
You don't like being puked on?
Kill him quick, guys.
I cannot stress how much easier this dungeon is from that other side I did earlier.
Is it because this is a 2 and the other side was much higher?
No. They were both 2s. The other people were just bad.
Not happy with my DPS.
Why not?
On that boss, I wasn't doing too great.
You beat me.
Can we get this Goliath here?
Yeah, we'll get him on our way to the named boss. So we're gonna clear some other trash first. Did we remember to use the weapons on what's his bucket? Lightbone.
We did.
Cool. Remember, the only mob that matters here is the Necromancer. Once he's dead, everything else dies.
Yeah, but Agony and the other ones are free stacks.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, if you can feed, definitely do it. What I picked up over here is the Discharged Anima Orb. It gives you an extra action button that's basically an arcane torrent every second for 8 seconds to everything in 20 yards. That's how we're going to handle the Narzuda pull. I'm watching the Sorcerer. Can someone watch the Fear on the Marauder? Perfect. Let's go back and get the...
Hey, Tri, do you ever have the problem where you kind of just focus on healing everybody else and then you just almost die because you're not paying attention to yourself?
Early on, yeah. You have to get in that mindset of making sure you're healthy, because if you lose 1 DPS, the pull will be rough but doable. If you die early on, then the pull is likely going to fail. So you have to get in that mindset of, like, tank you everybody else.
Right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to spell steal that. You could have purged it also. It's the teachable moment. We've got another hammer and another spear. Both of these guys do frontal cleave, so don't ever be in front, and they both do a fear. I will watch the fear on the skull, if someone can watch the fear on the unmarked. Oops. I blew my interrupt. Can someone get that? Was that totem?
Yeah.
Thank you. So no druid, so no druid skip. We are going to wait for this skeletal monstrosity, though.
Are we gonna pull the monstrosity?
Yep.
Okay.
Stay out of its melee range when it does a cone, like chill winds or something. Don't be in that radius, and then watch your feet when it does the icicles in the ground. They burst for a fair
For the
amount of
record,
damage.
it may, Reaping Winds, it may look like it's a magical tech, it's not.
First-hand
That's-
knowledge.
That's for our rogues in the group. You cannot ignore it.
Let me grab the shield here, just so that if something goes wrong, I have the button, since I'm not going to be using the DPS buttons. There's also another hammer over here. I'll watch interrupts on the sorcerer. The bone chewer's bone flake can be stunned, but not conventionally interrupted. There's another spear here.
Evo, you can pick it up.
Yeah, I need to pull first.
They are interactable with class abilities, by the way. So, for instance, Evo, if you want to have a higher chance of it critting, you can use Between the Eyes and then start casting your attacks, the weapon attacks.
Sorry, I had to dismiss my pet so it didn't pat wrong.
Thank you.
Am I making sense when I say that?
Yeah, for sure.
Kill that necromancer.
How was Waylon?
Alright. Does everyone know this boss?
I do not.
Yeah, we gotta focus the casters, right?
Yeah, she'll spawn several bunch of adds, a warrior, an archer, and a couple of mages. We have to kill them all. The frost mages do a volley that has to be interrupted, otherwise we're killing them all. There is an advanced strategy where if you can hard CC them, then when Land of the Dead cast, it doesn't count them as being consumed because they've been CC'd. So you can actually, potentially, with the right group, ignore all of them. We're going to do it right and just kill all of the adds, and then she does a conical breath that will rotate. You'll have to avoid that. If you can dispel an enrage effect, she keeps putting a fury on herself that will need to be soothed. Oh, Evo, you can with Shiv, right? Or is that not the right spec?
That is the right spec. If you're using numbing poison, you have when you use Shiv, it has a soothe effect.
I think I can also devour magic.
Not an enrage effect, but she might also buff herself. No, I think the stacking magic is not dispellable here. But yes, we'll always be on the lookout for opportunities like that. As soon as I pull, go ahead and everybody use a weapon here. There's the frenzy. That's the enrage. Make sure we get that crossbowman dead. Good job, guys. Land of the Dead's about to go off. We have everything dead, so we're in a good spot. If not, she pulses damage based on the number of still alive undead things, if that sentence isn't super awkward. And more than one will likely lead to a wipe. Frenzy can be soothed again.
I mean this in the nicest of ways. Could the people out in the way be a little bit closer? I heal better when I'm closer to you.
That is a healer problem. Breath. Go ahead and just focus her down now. Nice.
I just realized it's also better to be closer so that you can spin around that breath attack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Totally why I asked you to do it, wink wink.
Hey, if my healer asks me to do something, I do it.
Yeah, I'm on a high mastery build, and so mastery means if you're the closer you are to me, the higher I heal you.
That's good.
With each of these guys, they'll do an arrow ability. If you run that arrow ability through the loyal creation, it will damage the loyal creation instead of you. Which is both good for you not getting punched in the face and good for punching the bad guy in the face.
It's practice for the boss.
Indeed it is.
It's almost like they set it up that way.
Those clever minxes. Really cleanly done. Corpse Collector's Drain Fluid is the #1 interrupt target. I'll try to get the first one. Remember, with early DPS, I have to wait for my sigils to detonate.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Don't worry, the healer also was going ham on it too fast too. But that's just a me problem.
That is just a you problem.
Hey, can't say I'm never off brand.
It's important to be consistent. So the stitchwork here, it's worth noting, has significantly more hit points than everything else, so on a bolstering week you'll want to get him much lower before you start AoEing everything else. And he absolutely destroys tanks with his Tenderize ability. On a high fortified week, or even just a high any key, regardless of affixes, we'll start stacking Tenderize to levels where I'm taking, double, triple damage. So you'll want to prepare the option to have somebody who can immune like a bubble taunt or a pet taunt to help me clear those Tenderize stacks. You can cross the streams so that they each beat up each other.
I thought you said never cross the streams.
You gotta run away from the fixate. Just like in the boss fight. If we hook the boss while he's down, he does not fixate. However, if we miss that hook, then whoever gets fixated will have to run away.
I need to target something first. Gorgrine! Try not to damage those limbs whilst you tear them off. I'm out of range.
I'm using the shield there for this Tenderize. Look at that. Beautiful. Good pull, everybody.
Vexing! Rotsview! Get to work, and don't fail me like your predecessor!
This fight is so charming.
So with Rotspew, you see he's got the ability Disease Cloud. He's just always basically farting out toxic crap. it will continue even after he's dead. So if you're ever tanking here, or if someone needs to know what to do with him, make sure that you kill him somewhere out of the way. In the first couple of weeks, it was not uncommon to see someone kill him right in the middle of the boss arena there, which means you're just taking basically non-stop poison tick damage for no reason. I hate to use like a rude vernacular, but it was kind of like an idiot trap. Don't forget to hook the boss. Align the arrow with Surgeon Stitch Flash. And get out when the line turns solid. That looks real good. Heroism? In a non-tyrannical week, you can always one-phase him. With good DPS, you can still one-phase him with Heroism. Especially if you've saved a weapon for now. Run away from the Morbid Fixation. Or you can also vanish it, I believe.
Yes.
He's gonna run away. There will sometimes be a moment where if we still had our Abomination up, if we still had a Stitch Flesh's creation there, he's gonna hook at like with 1.5 seconds left on his journey back to the escape on the altar there. If you line up anyway, like he's gonna be there, you can often get him. Like, don't kill this creation. Everybody's just single targeting Surgeon Stitch Flesh. I guess he won't run away again, never mind. But when he does his escape, you can sometimes like immediately return him to phase 2 with a well-timed hook. Run, Zell, run! Ghost Wolf? Yeah. Upstairs, I'll mark 2 corners. If you get sucked down to run the gauntlet, when you come back, you're going to detonate in a few seconds with an explosion that will fill the entire arena with patches of ice. If you can drop them in either the blue or the green corner, I'll be tanking in one of these back 2 corners. Here we go.
Since I'm always sent down, I'm going to try see if I can throw a gateway quick enough.
Also remember, get out of that circle quickly so that when Lav dispels, it doesn't trap anybody else. And anything that you can do personally, like freedom of movement for example, will also break it and then detonate anybody in that circle. So it's fine to break it yourself, but you still have to wait.
I'm very glad you mentioned that I had to dispel it, because I thought it just went off.
No sir.
Like, I know what I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
but I was just one of those, wait, that's me.
Yeah, why isn't the healer doing... Oh shit. Feet, feet, feet. And you can stay mostly in... Oh no.
Not good. I couldn't save him.
And the only person who could have rezzed him is him. That's poetical justice.
Oh dear.
I was just frozen.
Bye, friends.
Good luck. Feet, feet, feet.
Uh-oh. Hey, Eva, were you downstairs?
Yes, it was.
Can you go into a corner? Oh, you already did it. Okay, you're great.
Yeah, I did it.
I'm the best. You're the best.
Good dispel.
Alright, good. I'm like, did I mess it up?
No, you did
No.
great.
No, you did
can
great.
Dispel him though,
Coming back?
because that's gonna kill him. Yeah.
Oh.
You have to get the dispel off before comment, otherwise he can't move out of comment.
I get it.
I tried.
I am also sent downstairs.
Yeah, when there's no longer enough viable targets, it'll pick you or I.
Oh dear.
Save who I can. Alright, I don't like this.
I don't know if the the spatial rift for Void Elves gets you out of that freeze?
I don't think so. Good thought, though. I mean, we could try it.
No, I should be more on top of it. That's entirely my fault. Well, goodbye. Fuck that.
Oh, that's real bad. Yep. Yep, that's bad. Do you want me to get up and try this?
Maybe. I'm gonna have cooldowns back here in a minute. I thought it was gonna be a wipe, but I'm starting to feel better about it.
Oh, the icy patches go away. That's good.
Okay.
Well,
That was on me.
not ideal.
Sorry.
But we still plus 2'd it.
Is there a res available?
Yes.
Other healer job.
Pick up the stains off the floor?
No, that was not you at all. That was 100% on me. Like, I was shit at there. I'm sorry.
That's alright. I mean, that's the whole point of these, right? Is to learn and practice, so... You
I got
learn
a
Nah.
to be faster on
turn
that.
aside 6.
No, I'm just saying though. I think Try was like, man, I thought this guy was better than this.
I think it's difficult
He
to
didn't
swap
think you were
roles.
better. I kid.
So, it became a Halls of Atonement 4. Do you guys want to do that one?
Same area.
Yeah,
Halls
no,
is in
wait.
Revendreth.
I'm thinking of Spires. I get them confused, okay?
Well, one is a Spire, one is a Hall. What are you going to do?
Hey, one of the weeklies was Necrotic Wake.
Yahoo!
It was.
Double dip. The other one is... Oh, Plaguefall. Nice. Alright, let's head to Halls of Atonement. And who wants to try to come up with our routing for Halls? Someone's gonna do it. And it ain't gonna be me.
I can. I'm just like I don't know how to shot call. Okay, it probably won't be quick.
That's okay. I mean, I'm coming at this as I don't care about timing the key, I don't care about gear, I just want to make sure that everybody's getting knowledge, experience, and comfortability in these dungeons, so that those are not limiting factors to feeling like you can participate, or that if there's not enough guild people online, you can maybe one day be comfortable enough just pugging with the dreaded random stranger.
Ugh, I tried that a couple weeks ago. Did not like. So it's a 4?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll give it a try. I will use the Raid IO one though.
Okay.
Cheat.
That's fine. Like I said, I think that's totally viable if there are just 4 other guildies online and everybody's sort of ambivalent about what role they want to do or how involved they want to be or if they even want to do it. If one of you just stands up and says, "Hey, I've got a route. I know where we're going to go," then it's a lot easier for people to join. I know that sucks. Everybody else would rather join a group behind someone who already knows where they're going, what we're doing. But if we can empower everyone here to be comfortable enough to say, I know where we can find a route. It's not perfect, but we'll definitely time the key. Then it's a lot easier to find more people who are willing. Like, I find that most of the guild is willing to participate if there's already a plan. It's hard when people are waiting for someone else to come up with a good idea. But there's literally a website with downloadable good ideas. And everybody here, I think, has a technology background or is far more tech savvy than I am.
Yeah, that's not true.
I am the quintessential Luddite.
Now, I can probably share this with the group, right?
Yep. There should be a share button, which will just give you a link in chat.
Have I been muted this entire time?
Yes.
If you've been talking, I've not been hearing you.
Oh my god.
Were you offering to lead the polls?
Oh god, no.
Oh, damn.
No, I was asking how the hell a Lodite ended up playing World of Warcraft.
Who? Oh, me, a Luddite, yes. A friend. Well, actually, I at the time was working in the showroom where I still work. Well, I guess not during Corona, but with Electra, and she was a huge WoW PvPer for Vanilla and Burning Crusade, and she would talk about it at work. And having, she knew that I played D&D a bunch, and she was like, "I think you'd really enjoy it." And I'm like, "I don't really computer game. It's not really for me." She just talked about it enough until it started to sound exciting. She got me a free trial, and that was it. Hook, line, and sinker.
Dun, 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 dun.
So, do I have to keep this map up for the whole run, or is there a way to, like...
So there's a few schools of thought. The first is that if you have a second monitor, you can just, screen grab or snip or just use the Raider.io thing on your second monitor. The other option that you can do is what I do sometimes is I've macroed the /MDT, which is the command for opening Mythic Dungeon tools, to a button, so that mid-run I can just open that route and see where I am. That's only helpful like if I'm unsure, or if I've got a perfectly mapped out path and every percent has been accounted for, and then someone goes, "Oops, I just backed into something," and it's like, well, shit, now my math is all off. And if I need to do like a quick recalculation, it's nice to have the in-game percentage map up where I can, tinker with it between pulls. Or a lot of people, I think, will tell you this is more of like a pre-game ritual where everyone's going to look at the map together before we go in, and then basically that's it. Like very few people are going to look at it during the pull. Once you're familiar enough with the dungeons and the mobs and what they do, I think a lot of people just kind of have the pre-game ritual with the whole party and say, everybody see here where we're going to double pull, here's where we're going to get pride, here's where we're going to skip, and that's it. And then everybody says, hands in, team on 3, 1, 2, 3, go team.
Go.
And that's that.
And then you're a really terrible team member like me. I'm like, all right, just do what you're doing. I'm following behind. Don't be that guy.
Do we have any Venthyr?
Oh, no. I've never done these without a Venthyr.
It's still one of the best dungeons in terms of favorable timer and ease of mechanics. However, we won't be pulling the gargoyles because their percentage isn't included in being mind controlled, which gives you 0% because they fly away, which means we just don't want to back into them. You know what I mean? Everyone's going to be pretty accustomed, I think, to being able to body pull them or whatever. We just are going to walk around them.
Hey, Try.
Sir.
Magic cleanses. What's other than the second boss, preferably getting the guy with the circle? Is there anything that's like a need to cleanse off that you can think of?
The Curse of Stone on Echelon, but you can't do that, I don't think. I think Zell, can you decurse as a elemental shaman, or is that only Resto?
I do have Purge, but I don't have... Oh, no, I do also have Decurse, yes.
Yeah. So, I'm pretty sure Curse of Stone is a curse. When Echelon...
Oh.
the second boss at the top of the stairs there, will do Curse of Stone on a player. If that player is also the person who's going to get the jumpy circle, you need to be able to decurse that player so they can move the jumpy circle to the baby bats that are stunned. Otherwise, they're going to get petrified in place, and then it probably doesn't work so great.
Fair enough. I can't do that.
You can,
Okay.
Yeah. You just want to watch, like for you, Lav, the big opportunities are watching my health if I am getting ready to kite and haven't yet during these loyal beast pulls, and or hammering, stunning the depraved Houndmaster if we can't kill her before she casts loyal beasts.
Oh yeah.
And everybody who's ranged, you can help out Lav's ability to heal when we get to those shards, because the shards thrash is only 30 yards. You have to find that 31 to 40 yard space where you can still hit him, but his thrash does not hit you. If you're going to be inside that realm, then you're taking your life in your hands, and you'll have to use a personal defensive during thrash. But you can easily get outside of its ability to hurt you. Are we ready?
Yep.
Ready.
3, 2, 1, go! So Dratnos's pull has us taking these first 4 together, or the first 2 pulls together. Let's try that and just see how that feels. We'll get a sense for where we're at. So hold DPS until I've got everything. Alright, go ham.
Oh, stuff is hitting harder.
Yes, it is twice as hard as what we were just in.
It's fair.
Nice, not bad.
Now it doesn't have us taking these 2 up here.
Right, the guys on the... Oh,
Yeah,
we do.
Sorry.
No worries, we're good.
I was like, oh, we don't get the 2, so we got to go around, right? And then I forgot he was an enemy.
And we are actually grabbing those 2. It looks like they're the green pull.
Oh, they're not circled, that's why. Unless, oh. I'm just reading the map wrong, I think.
No worries. We'll pull these 2 dark blades together. You'll see a lot of people, myself included, pull these 2 dark blades with the groundskeepers over there. He's got it as 2 separate pulls, but I think we're going to go ahead and just leap over there. The groundskeepers have surprisingly high HP, so you don't have to worry too much about cleaving them in a bolstering or bad prideful timing way.
Oh, I'm not targeting you. That's what's going on. Okay.
That's like 15 seconds without a heal.
Trust me, I was doing that. I was just healing myself like crazy.
That's good. Hey,
Sound like me on my
Try
feet.
told you, you gotta focus on you.
That's true.
I was like, damn, why is it not working?
So we've got bolstering now, so we want to try to kill things as symmetrically as possible. Everybody's focusing the Houndmaster here, because that's more important. But if these guys get bolstered heavily, I am just going to bail. Loyal be stunned. And I'm out of here. If anybody can stun them, please do.
Losing targeted view. I think I'm misclicking. Like, I just dumped half of my healing into Void.
I mean,
You weren't taking any damage, sir.
Still feels nice.
yeah, exactly. Maybe it was healing my mental health. Did you ever think of that?
You're right.
So, Depraved Collector will cast an ability called Collect Sins. That's one of the big interrupts. He also does Siphon Life. That's a heal. Interrupt that. I'll watch Collect Sins. And this is the shard that we talked about. So if you stay at over 30 yards, so 31 to 40 yards, you'll be able to attack him, but his thrash won't kill you. So Zell, you're right on. Void, you're a little too close. Whatever the difference between you two was position-wise was exactly the magic number.
No concept of how much a yard is.
It's about 3 feet.
Hardy har.
I'm so sad you got to that first.
So here, let's take a second. Lavender, stand at this marker here, at blue. And tell me, like, heal me now with Holy Light. Heal me now with Holy Light. Heal me now with Holy Light.
Nope.
How about now?
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 There.
This is 40 yards.
Okay.
Just to give you a ballpark, all of his healing spells have a range of 40 yards, so this is visually about 40.
5 squares, give or take.
I'm gonna Sigil of Silence pull these two guys. Well, let's do this as 2 pulls because I don't want to bolster the shard. You see how one is dead and one is at 50%? We want to try to kill them as close together as we can because when one dies it makes the other one 20% more dangerous. Same as before. If you can stun Siphon Life, I'll interrupt Collect Sins.
Ooh, interrupts 30 yards.
Yeah, that might be a problem with the Thrash. Can you see the brown lip there? You were both just on the inside of it, it looked like.
So what am I supposed to do with this? Am I supposed to just drop it out? Or is there any way I can make that go faster?
I don't think you can accelerate it anyway.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do is pull this, and she's gonna probably grab those Dark Blades when we come. Really very lucky. Oh no, I didn't think that was right. So we're gonna line of sight back up the stairs.
Ah, the infamous stairs. Oh fuck, okay.
Remember, we're prioritizing Houndmaster.
I know you know this, but careful on stairs.
Stun if we have it.
Ah, butts, I tried.
Everyone else be careful, because I'm doing everything I can to make sure Try's not dead. But she's now out of my healing range, and I can't heal him. And now he's dead.
I can't. No one can tank double Gargons with 100 stacks with 100% bolster.
I know. That was hard.
Earth Elemental can.
Nah. My blueberry tried.
Well, that was about the worst pull we can do in here, so.
Bolster sucks.
It's just more
Yeah.
punishing to mistakes, which is not always super friendly.
I was trying my best to heal you there, but then you just kind of I mean, obviously you had to, but you Bufu Egypt yourself. I'm like, I can't follow you. Thought I was doing pretty okay for when I was able to follow you, though.
Yeah, part
But it
of
was literally-
healing is being able to be mobile enough to heal and move, but I know that's tricky for a paladin sometimes. Same drill, I'll watch the collect sins interrupt if someone else can stun siphon. Here comes the thrash. Feet.
I need to target something first.
Nope, we got a friend in the back.
Oops.
That's alright. I blame, like, it's so hard to run this without Event Theory because everybody is just so used to either another player grabbing that or at least being able to fix if it was not supposed to be grabbed. We could just make it a friend that murders everything.
I do like friends that murder everything.
Mm-hmm. So, Houndmaster first. Can I get a stun?
Oh my god. Sorry, try.
No worries. They said those hurt, and when they bolster, they hurt more.
Right. I knew I had an ability that I could probably have used there, but I didn't, because I didn't think you were going to die that quickly.
So everybody's inside the boss's red ring when I pull him, otherwise you're going to be eternally feared. I've put the red marker out. We are not pulling that Loyal Stoneborn. Once he's ready to do his Sunshine Ring, I'm going to try to move him to center-ish. We're not going to go past that blue marker, though. 3, 2, go.
I'll remember that one of these days.
Make sure you've got somewhere safe to stand. Void, can you battle res Lavender? Soulstone.
I thought I was out of it, and I was not.
It'll get you every time. I'd like to kill him right now because we are going to have an unfavorable. Cool.
As you ask.
Yeah.
I change my talents for Mythic and I lose one ability, but I always keep pressing it.
And how's it working out for you?
Oh well, it always looks like I'm missing one dot. I'm like, oh no, wait, I don't have that dot right now.
So hug left here, we don't want to, or hug right, we don't want to pull any of that stuff on the left. We're going to get the Eviscerator and the Reaver.
Sounds fun.
And try to pull as little as possible. The Stone Reaver will do a petrified, I don't remember what it's called, but it needs to be interrupted with like a cloud of gray around it.
Turn to stone.
Turn to stone, thanks. So from here, we are only going to pull the little ankle biter pack, and then make our way up the stairs. So we'll wait for this slasher to... Ah, you sumbitch.
Biters have friends.
We're just gonna pull this guy. For melee, I can't really change his position because I can't afford to get knocked into anything else, but if you want to get behind him, that frontal cone won't affect you. These two things plus this guy up to the top of the stairs don't aggro anything until we get up top. So anybody can trigger the boss by clicking on the door. We want to make sure that we're killing all the little ads. They turn to stone, and that when his crushing leap or whatever it's called happens, that you're able to get that leap on as many of the petrified little ads as you can to break them so they don't like rehatch and murder us. Interrupt the little ones when you can. The only time you wouldn't want to do that is in a very high necrotic key, because if they can't cast, they'll melee. And so if the tank is already having a hard time clearing their necrotic stacks, then turning 6 casters into 6 more rapid striking necrotic stackers is a bad move. Can we Soulstone Evo?
Oh, I'm gonna get him. Yeah.
get that in. Kill those guys, all the marked ones. Quick, quick, quick.
Curse.
It's alright. So our only options there were to have you move in proactively much faster than you did, or to have Zell remove that Curse of Stone once you were determined to be the target of the leap.
And I'll be honest, I had already used it on someone else. It was not me, but it sounds funny if it was.
I don't know. Was it me?
No, I was trying.
Oh,
Nice. Alright, so the best way to handle this pull is to CC both of the Houndmasters. If I can have... Lav, do you have Repentance?
No.
Evo, can you sap left, and Zell, can you hex right then? I'll body
Sure.
pull the Gargons, but if you guys can CC those two things, that'd be awesome.
I have blinding light. I didn't be using that more often.
I was gonna say I can't sap them because they see through,
Oh,
but I
well,
can blind.
that works. Let me get him outside, and then you guys can go crazy.
Huh.
I went crazy anyway. That
Yeah.
was my fault.
It was.
I have a charged soul sword. I just want to wait.
I've
just
already
wait.
released.
Yeah.
I need to realize just how much burst I do.
And get comfortable with the idea that your primary job as a healer is not to do damage, but to keep those who are doing the damage alive. And then in gaps, definitely do DPS, but your first thought should
Well-
be, can I burst a ton of damage right now? At the
Yes and
expense
no.
of screwing up the pull and murdering the tank.
Oh, did you die?
That was
I
the
don't
ideal
mean
place
that
to
in a-
use death.
I don't mean that in a bad way. But
Ideally, emergency defensive cooldowns should be used so your Holy Paladin can cheat out some DPS.
Someone sassy. Did you die?
I didn't mean that as sassy as I said it. I'm sorry.
Alright, I'm going into the right side. Line of sighting around the pillars. What did we learn?
I think. So, okay.
I'm running away.
What am I dying to? Life in life.
From the Collector
Not
of
my
Sins,
time,
it
my
needs to be stunned. Can we get a AoE stun out?
Alright, cooldown.
I was trying my version of an AoE stun, which is just to kill them.
That works. Well, it wasn't pretty, guys, but I'll take it. That was good. That was unfortunately my cheat death. But that's why they gave it to me. We'll pull as soon as Lav's back. Remember to kite ghosts into the little spiritual urns here. I'll interrupt the first volley. Zell, can you get the next volley?
Oh, I grabbed the first next bolt. Sorry.
Evo, get the next volley. I can get the next volley. Evo, you get the next volley. Zell, you get the next volley. Everybody starts sitting on DPS cooldowns. As they start to come up, we're going to use them to try to burst the next mob who's going to drain souls. Lab, this is where Holy Paladin burst DPS is going to pay dividends. Kite him into this urn over here. On tyrannical weeks, there will only ever be one urn after we get the initial 4. She'll spawn a new urn. It's over here now. For each ghost. Excellent. So don't AoE any of this. Okay. Follow me into the end of the chamber here. Nobody used DPS cooldowns yet. Once he heals the first time, he'll heal back up to 90-ish% if we've done our jobs right. Then we're going to burst him down to dead from 90 to 100% before he heals again. Go. DPS cooldowns.
Lust?
No. Actually, sure, go ahead. Why not?
Take your DPS cooldown.
Nice, we did it. Had we not aggroed any of that stuff, we wouldn't have to worry about it at all. There's a very small window of time on non-fortified weeks, so that's very doable. 3, 2, 1, go. Watch where he throws the statues. When he does the 4 draw in, don't be in the draw in. He'll knock them back in that same direction. Don't get hit by that. And then make sure we're soaking lines. I'm going to stay in his hitbox and soak 2. Get out of the frontal cone. Watch the statue. Watch cone. Draw in. Watch the line between him and the statues. Push out. Soak the lines. Watch statue. Draw in. Knock back. Soak. We'll try to get 2 again. And we still timed it. We had 2 whole minutes. We could have even done that trash the easy way. Good job, guys.
Alright, that's where probably need to stop and go to bed here, because I gotta get up in the morning.
Awesome. Thanks for healing, Lev.
Absolutely.
Little quick post-mortem while we have the 5 of us here together. Were there any outstanding questions, and what do you think we did well versus what do you think we didn't do so great on?
I didn't see any points where we changed our routing based on all of the dumb stuff we pulled.
So we
and
didn't.
I don't know if that's a thing we were supposed to do or
Ideally, we would skip some stuff. The easiest thing to skip is with an invis pot going up those stairs. I wasn't sure who had what, and I decided to just run the route the way that it was imported, so that way you can see what like the bog standard route looks like minus the oops I've backed into a gargoyles. So we were way over percent there. I think we were almost 5% over, which is obviously a waste of time, but clean routing is better, and being able to make those determinations. Okay, now shit, we have to skip is super important, and I don't want to say in a real key because that seems disingenuous, but if I was more afraid about making the timer, that's definitely a call that would have to be made on the fly. I think we did pretty good at stunning.
I need to learn when and where to use Blessing of Sacrifice.
When you can also utilize another personal defensive cooldown, and I'm going to get trucked.
No, I mean, I get that. I just...
Yeah, so, like, a good example is when those Gargons got bolstered. That's a prime opportunity. Like, you can even plan for it to just, as soon as the Huntress dies, those will each get a bolstering stack, and they'll both be at about 25 to 30ish% depending on how effective cleave has been. So in that moment, hitting me with sack right there is a great time. Like, and that's predictable. That'll happen several times throughout the dungeon.
Yeah, that, and I need to learn to use my trinkets more, basically. Yeah. I have the tuft of smoldering plumage that's like OP as fuck. I need to actually be using it.
We tried kiting. That's hard to do without like coordinated slows, but I feel like we did pretty good on like some pulls that just got way out of our control. Being able to save them with Earth Elemental AoE stuns and kiting was huge. Zell did really well.
No.
All right, so Lav, you're going to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Zell, what are your thoughts on healing?
It's a thing. It's scary, but I can do it.
Let me see if Fel wants to participate. And if she does, maybe you can consider healing.
Yeah, that's fine. If you jump up and be like, well, now that we're warmed up, let's do a 12.
Yes.
I'm going
on
to
these
politely
characters,
bow
yeah.
out.
I'm 189. I seem like I'm ready for a 12. Let's do this. Thanks for coming, Lev.
I probably only have
and a little bit of a commentary on the burst situation. Typically, if that works properly, I'm also actively healing everybody because the way I have this set up is if the big burst heal / damage window is Avenging Wrath and a Divine Toll, and therefore the Holy Shock Glimmer of Light is critting everybody to where it doesn't matter, which is what I was doing, but I didn't calculate the whole you hadn't had aggro yet, so I just ripped it and died.
Mm-hmm. You could also have bubbled
it's not,
there.
I could have, but in the moment, I died.
It's just practice. Yeah. The more you get put in those positions, the more you'll find muscle memory solutions that are easy to fall back on.
No, absolutely.
Nope, I should have just tricked and then went ham every pull.
Hey, you know what? That's a problem that even I have, so don't worry. And I've played Outlaw Rogue for thousands of hours.
I was gonna say, it's one of those pain in the ass things that I know it sucks to have to ask people to do at the beginning of every pull, and like if you can macro it to something, that's huge, but hunters and rogues can like earn their keep in almost any group just by tricksing. So that way when I want a line of sight pull, like I don't even have to breathe on them because I know that you're gonna do it for me. That's huge. But at the very least, like on those shitty line of sight pulls, or when their stuff is so scattered and I've got multiple interrupts, even if you only did it on like the 2 pulls where you know this is a shitty pull, even that's going to make a big difference over the course of a dungeon.
Yep, of course.
All right, good night, guys.
Good night. What keys do we have? Fel just needs 1 minute to wrap up the world quest she's on, and then I don't want to put you in the hot seat, Zell, so I don't want to say let's head to the 5 if we wanted to start with something smaller to get your feet wet. We've got a 3 plague fall. Are you comfortable there?
Sure.
It's really up to you. I feel like we have the DPS
No.
to do up to a 5 or a 6, but
Yeah.
I don't want to put you.
Well, I feel like the issue is less about DPS in most cases like that, and more if I'm not as comfortable healing, I have to rely on you as a better tank. And so I'm confident you know what you're doing. I don't know how well geared you are.
She is 189. Puts her like right in the
Okay,
5 and
about on
6
par with
range,
me.
being probably where she should be.
All right, well, yeah, we'll give it a shot.
Yeah, I just know I need to work on DPSing more.
We got lots
Getting
of that.
better rotations. I am only 204 too, so.
So I'm sorry, Plaguefall.
Yeah.
Okay. Plus that's a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of things to learn there.
And it'll help me with calling.
Good evening.
I am ready.
I am Job.
Job. Do we have a destination?
We are going to Plaguefall.
Okay.
Does anyone want to use MDT to find a route for Plaguefall?
Also, can you guys hear me? My headset was cutting out.
I can hear you now.
Can hear you.
I'm too tired to think, but I will follow.
Okay. We'll just import the no skips Dratnos route from the weekly route and use that.
And also, remember, we do have Shroud if you ever do need it.
I guess, actually, let's do that then. Let's find a good Shroud skip. What can we skip in Plaguefall?
What's the URL for that website?
Raider.io. There. The.
You just
Here,
Google Radar.io.
let me find.
See, I was trying to go to Mythic.io, and that didn't work.
It's Radar.io weekly route. That's an interesting question. Does everyone say route or route?
I think I say route.
Both.
I say route whenever you're talking like in a regular sentence, but if you comment on like a road, it's a route.
Nice.
I'm also the kind of person who says schedule, so I never know if I'm saying things right.
Crick or creek is mine.
Roof. Also, I always mispronounce salad and order a pizza by mistake.
That'll get you. Pizza
That's
with
a
ranch.
hell of an impediment, yeah.
I know. I order a salad, and a pizza shows up. I don't understand.
Oh, Zell, I haven't seen your shaman yet. How's it going?
Our duty is true. Our purpose.
It's okay. I haven't had a lot of time for any character, so I think I might have actually played my shaman more, just because I've been doing this. I like it. It's a lot of fun. I feel like I'm doing about the same damage that my warrior does. 30 item levels lower.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's kind of nice, right?
Yeah.
Nice little handicap.
So I don't know. I like it a lot. I I will stick with my warrior because they've invested.
Does anyone need a summon?
I'll take one.
Oh, yes, please. Sorry, I was looking at routes.
I'm here.
I'm sorry. Fry, you said you need a summon?
Yes, please.
I
If
need
one
a
is
friend
available.
then.
How dare you offer things you cannot supply?
I have friends, but my friends apparently have other friends.
Plus, I like the positive affirmations. You are using MDT. You rock. Aw.
They say that to all the
No, just to
deathknights.
me.
Are you okay?
It depends on who you ask.
Okay. Have you received the summons?
I have. Ooh, this one's from Evo, though. I thought you were going to summon me.
Well, I let him click.
Unacceptable.
So I could kill his friends.
Just a heads up. This is, I think, the first time I've ever ran this dungeon. So,
Awesome.
yay.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, so try I missed the first half of Dungeon Booty Camp. What are the affixes?
Oh, it's so much better as booty camp.
It's tyrannical, bolstering, necrotic, prideful. At 3, I think we'll only see
Tyrannical?
tyrannical, and then we get bolstering till 4. So
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
just slightly harder than usual bosses. Does anybody need a countdown? Is everybody ready? I have a button.
Let me do something quickly.
Please take your cookies. They help us all.
So the first pull that we're going to do, we're going to go slow and steady. We're going to get the giant guy by himself and take him back to these arches here, and then we're going to go into the Fungistorm packs. There's a mob called Fungistormer. He will do a pulsing AE damage effect that cannot be interrupted called Fungistorm. It needs to be stunned. Phyllectra, since your stun is instant, why don't you get the first Fungistorm, and then Zell, I know that there's a delay on Cap Totem if you can get the second one.
I'll try.
We'll do that pull twice. There's 2 points in my pathing before the first boss where you'll need to step exactly where I step, not ish, not close, not approximate. Follow me precisely. We will walk past 2 sets of pulls, kind of threading a needle for percentage, and to do our rogue skip later, we don't want to pull them, so we'll just be super careful, and I'll remind you before we get there.
I'm guessing I'll have to desummon my pet.
It should be fine, but if you
want to
don't
spin it
have a
for
level
Mythic?
of
5, 4,
Huh?
Or
3,
do you want to put the key in, or did you put it in?
1.
No, it gets put in
Oh.
at the end of the timer. So often you'll see this pull where this giant gets pulled in with the Fungistormer pack. We're gonna just, like, say, play it safe. He casts an ability called Creepy Crawlers. We want to interrupt that. I'll get the first one. Phil, if you can get the next one. Here's the Fungistormer pull. Or we're just going to burst him down and it's never going to happen. That's good too. the Fungal Mancer will cast Wonder Grow. It's a big damage buff. I interrupted that one, but that's the only other thing in that pack to really watch out for. So here's our part 1 of Step Where I Step. We're going to run right up the center of this tree into the next Fungistormer pack. Okay. So this is the other part where we will just step right where I'm stepping. Well done, guys. That's one of the trickier positional requirements that happen in this dungeon. Zeldis is going to hurt a lot.
This would be interesting with bolstering.
We're going to kill them all at roughly the same time because they all have roughly the same HP. And I'm going to run away if anything gets big. Well done. We'll do the same thing a second time. And I'm running away. Excellent. These Plague Belchers mimic the boss ability. Once we pull him, he's going to try to summon and add. I'm going to kite him far enough away. If we can stun, CC, root, or slow the adds that he's beckoning, they don't reach him and he doesn't heal.
I need to target something first.
Too early.
Nice. So the boss does roughly the same thing as those guys. He'll do a stomp that knocks everybody back, no matter who. Then he will choose a random player and do a cone. So the trick is you want to be as close to melee as you can so the distance out of that cone is as small as it can possibly be. Then he beckons slimes, just like this guy did, for 2 types. A big one and several smaller ones. We're going to use heroism here, and we're just going to ignore the little ones, and he's going to eat them, and we're going to just burn through the health that he's eating because we can out DPS his healing. The big one, Void, you're going to banish. It'll appear...
Right, let me just find... Just gotta find where I put banish in my bar. I've never used it. Alright.
somewhere around the blue raid marker-ish, there'll be big ooze. You can't miss it. I'll say CC big ooze, and that's when you're going to banish that guy.
Okay.
Here we go, gang. Stomp. Guess my timer is wrong. Now stomp. Get ready to CC big ad soon. Coming out in 5 seconds. And here we go. Perfect. And we'll just heal through these little morsels. Oh, nice. Stun slows him down a little bit. If we had stellar DPS, that would have done it. Get ready to rebanish. We'll have him dead, I think, in time, but... Perfect, guys. That was really well executed.
I was actually smart when I set up my bars and put banish on the control version of my interrupt.
Yeah, that's good. Don't stand in front of this stuff, and I'm going to kill these plague barrels. Don't be around the plague barrel.
I don't know what killed me.
It looked like the frontal cone from that bone guy. If you run over these slithering oozes before they finish their cast, they don't become something worse. All you have to do is literally stand your character on top of them. So one thing to be careful, Void, is see how your pet is chasing down that rotting slime claw. If he comes into, aggro radius of something else, he's going to pull that stuff. Exactly, withdraw him like that. Let's get Fell up.
Thank you.
Give me just a second here. Okie dokie. We're gonna pull this Plague Rock by itself. It does a frontal knockback, so if you're ever tanking here, just put your back to a wall like this, so the knockback is mitigated.
Oh, wing buffet. Do you like wings?
Okay, now we're going the other way. We're going the I like to use barrels to explode stuff path. I'm not gonna get out of this one. Oh, I am. Whew.
I've never gone this way.
So you see these plague unstable canisters? You can use their damage to kill this stuff. Making it pretty optimal on most weeks. Same drill, we'll use this canister over here. Fel, why don't you try stunning them when the canister is about to detonate? You see how it's got about half of its bar left? Stun now. Nice.
Uh-oh.
We end up with a little bit of a dot situation, so we just trust that Zell is going to keep us alive.
I've cookied and potted.
Old cookie pot.
Ah, the cookie pot.
I'm going to pull these other slimes by this canister here. This is going to be another canister pull. If I can get a stun just before the canister expires.
13 seconds.
Alright, everybody stack up on Evo. Once the dot is off, 5 seconds, we're going to run past this guy on the stairs, going forward and to our right.
Everybody ready?
Let's do this. Nice. Unavoidable tentacle here. If you can ever CC these plague borers that are coming in, they'll just harmlessly explode. If not, we can utilize them to kill other things for us. Be careful, all these little rippling puddles. Don't kill that canister. Or do. Each of these rippling puddles is a tentacle. You don't want to aggro tentacles we don't have to aggro. Nice work. This guy, Blightweaver, will just keep spawning these guys in a gauntlet-style event until he's engaged, so it's always in your best interest to just get that done. But like all of the barrels, they will also explode and murder him for us.
I don't have a target.
Perfect. These don't do anything terribly dangerous. I think they have like a spammable cast. If you want to help with the Pestilence Bolts, you can. If a tank wants to draw them back, we'll need a helpful interrupt.
When I find you, I'll be happy to demonstrate my research.
The Congealed Slime should always die first. It has an aura that will reduce damage taken by 70% to anybody within 10 yards of it. That mechanic gets duplicated with the boss, so whenever there's a Congealed Slime up, we always prioritize it. There is an advanced strategy for the boss, where once we're good enough, we'll have Void, for example, can banish it, and then we'll just ignore it and keep tunneling the boss. But for today, we're just going to kill it. Okay, we're taking the boss as soon as he lands. Step on those goos. Boss time, guys. Don't stand in the bad stuff. Kill the explosions, then kill the congealed slimes, and then kill Dr. Rickus. We'll be jumping back and forth between probably 3 platforms. Erupting ooze. If you're ever tanking this fight, there always has to be a tank when he's on the ground in melee with him, or he'll just chain cast, throwing a bunch of shit all over the place. Kill the plague bomb first, and then the congealed slime. That little erupting ooze, never mind. Plague bomb. And then congealed slime. Nicely done, guys.
So you emerge victorious, but at what cost? What vile mixtures now course through your veins?
Nobody here is Maldraxxus person, right?
Not that they'll admit to, anyway.
These guys have these oozes here are part of the fleshcraft ability for that covenant. Their special ability is you get a ton of unique abilities for fleshcrafting those oozes. We're gonna go across to this island over here. Watch the ground because most of it's gonna get covered in poop like this one just did. Find a safe space. Zell, the healing is going to be incredibly intense for about 10 seconds.
Oh boy.
And we killed him before he got it off, so should be pretty easy now.
Well, I
No.
blew cooldowns anyway.
Well, that was smart. No slime pool. We're in a good spot.
Not been so foolish.
Fel, can you use Spectral Sight and find me the hidden guy at the bottom here?
House of Eyes would still stand. I will correct his
There he is.
mistake. All will suffer.
If he's going to catch stealthlings, we need to stun that. If the stealthlings get up, go ahead and stun the stealthlings just before their ambush cast is up, or just murder him, I suppose. We're taking this defender and this plague belcher. We're going to run him inland, just like the slimes. If we can do anything to avoid him getting those slimes, that's going to be for the best. Yeah, buddies. Nice job, guys. Alright, same deal with the defenders here. Watch for the stealthling cast. If we can get it, great. If the stealthlings are cast by the ambusher, then just make sure we're stunning the stealthlings before they ambush. Barring that, everyone burns a personal defensive. So there they are. Either kill them or stun them before their ambush goes off. If neither of those things can happen, then everybody's got to use a personal cooldown. And once again, we beat it with damage. I haven't looked, but I suspect Fel is carrying us. Same deal, watch the ambusher. Stun the stealthlings, all interrupt enveloping web. Nice work, everybody. And it was fun because we got to skip that maybe the shittiest trash pull in here. Alright, for the boss, we need to have a buddy system. If you're ever more than 5 yards away from somebody for 10 seconds, you get wrapped, ambushed, and I think also feared. You'll feel a heartbeat in the game sound. So buddy up. You get a purple ring around you. That has to be run out. You don't want to share your purple ring with nobody else. And then get back in as quickly as you can. You will often find that the healer or whoever is most comfortable can step in as soon as your purple ring is gone to keep you safe from the being alone in the dark effect. And then she's going to put webs all over the room that have hidden assassins in them. I will go around and collect those hidden assassins. We DPS them down while killing her.
Oh, she's bad at lockpicking.
Yeah. So you get that purple out just like that. And then as soon as you're clear, get back in quickly. Or I'll come to you so that you don't get caught out. Just like that. Free the web wrap. More assassins are spawning. If anybody's got a ground-based effect that helps find those assassins, that would be awesome. Just one way in the back over there. Good job, guys. Since we're ahead on time, let's do the oozes downstairs. A lot of pathing down here involves pulling the downstairs oozes. If people don't know, that's this catacomb over here. Has a bunch of the fleshcraft oozes in it. So we'll just pull these. There's a really good skipping path that involves missing a lot of trash early on, but making up for it here at the end. And if you have somebody with the Maldraxxus buff, this gives you the party-wide 5-minute for the last boss. Doesn't seem like a lot of people are Necrolords, though. Maybe it's only good for
I don't
classes
know
we
if
don't
that's
play
an
a lot.
aesthetic thing or if all the powers are just bad.
I wonder if it's like more Horde or Necrolords, because they just feel so Horde to me.
Maybe. I went on my Holy Priest just because Unholy Nova is too good not to have, but... don't let these melee you. I will get, like, my best aggro on them that I can, but I will not have, like, full-time threat on them.
You can't do the cheese strat anymore.
Say that again?
We can't do the cheese strat in here anymore.
I don't know what the cheese strat is. Explain.
We used to be able to like throw a gateway some way to avoid.
They did nerf the tentacles, so they move slower and do less damage. But you were saying you were able to, like, a gateway through the thing? That should still work, shouldn't it?
It was with this trash. We used to use a gateway to avoid like 2 of the packs and just kill Ichor Blightflesh before.
Oh, I guess if you were ahead on percent.
I don't know.
My pathing requires you to kill him for percent. And all of his trash. Alright, so we're not standing in the tentacles, Evo. She will drop tentacles that will spawn yellow just before they're about to smash, and then they'll smash you. There's, 6 or 7 predictable patterns. Add spawn, just like the ones that you can't touch. I will do my best to taunt and glaive toss at them, but we're cleaving them. We're never prioritizing them, but we're just cleaving them down. There's a Tank Buster circle that gets summoned. I will stand in that. You do not. And when I say you, not you specifically, no one does. And there's a significant phase damaging ability called something rain, necrotic rain, bloody rain, bad touch. It stacks up to 4 if you've got a damage reducing cooldown. You can do that. If you can dispel the disease, that's super helpful. I don't think that's anybody in this party, unfortunately. So it's just going to be a lot for Zell to heal through. It's best for us to use personal cooldowns on the very first phase when she's back up, and then Heroism on the second. That way we don't blow all of our WAD for one quick phase and then have to just grind out the second one. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Sounds good.
So behind this circle is the safe spot. There you go. Now we're going to do the tentacle dance. So find the gaps in the tentacles.
I disagree.
Those tentacles.
Yep. Those tentacles.
Less now?
Yes, please.
Oh, and I probably maybe should have waited for Evo to get up.
Yeah, Void, can we use a battle res on Evo?
Come right up.
Thank you.
I just wanted to time it with the tentacles.
Perfect. Eat shit.
Not time it with the tentacles, but time it to avoid the tentacles.
I know what you meant. Why do you hate Evo? Infectious rain, that's what it's called. I knew it was rain and gross. Watch tentacles?
So I've decided I'm just really slow at strafing.
Well, those tentacles are brutal for everybody the first couple of times they're here.
Something engorged. Great.
Try 190 gloves.
Nope. I have 207 gloves. The only piece of loot I've gotten off of a world boss on 3 characters in 6 weeks. I wear them with pride. 190 cloak. Find Zell, run away.
I want to go.
How did you find healing that?
I mean, everything except Tentacle Slam seemed all right. I knew the third boss was going to be bad because those daggers are really awful.
Mm-hmm. It seems like you knew what to expect. I didn't.
Thing is, no, go ahead.
I didn't feel like it was ever one of those where I regretted asking you to do it. It was. I never felt like we were having a healer problem.
Yeah, in full honesty, this is the third shaman I've gotten to max, and I've been healing at some point in like every expansion.
Yeah, you seem pretty comfortable.
BC. It's mostly just there's a lot more stress because it's a higher pressure position to be in. And especially like once I got in this guild, I noticed there were a lot of people that were okay with healing, and I was like, all right, I'll take a back seat and work on DPSing instead. But it's something I know how to do.
Nice. What do you guys want to do? You want to do one more? Do people have to depart?
I'm actually gonna be. Yeah, I'm gonna be done for the night. It's a little after 11.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish my one set of world quests and go to bed.
Okay, that sounds good.
But good runs. I
Yeah.
appreciate the learning on some again Plaguefall I haven't seen before, so that was good.
Yeah, it is good to. I don't know. I just want everybody to be in a position where they're comfortable enough that pugging isn't dangerous and that they don't feel like there's. I just hate for stuff to seem inapproachable, because we like everybody in the guild, and everybody in the guild is skilled enough to do these keys. It's just so frustrating when someone doesn't feel like they're good enough.
Well, I'm comfortable. I just got to get up to the DPS level of others.
And that comes mostly from experience. Not just with the dungeons, but also with your class and spec, like just knowing what buttons to press when, and then finding those windows within the dungeons. It just comes from doing them, so.
I just gotta do runs like this so that I can eventually get up to like 6s where everyone else is, and then maybe get up to like the 10s and 11s that most people are doing.
Mm-hmm. You could probably do a 6 now.
I mean, I want to push 15s, but that's not even in the future, because I'm so far behind.
It's definitely in the future, it's just not in the present, probably. Alright then, everybody have a good evening. Fel, do you want to do another one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I'm good. Thank you
Alright.
so much.
Of course. All right then. Thanks for coming, everybody. Have a good night.
You too.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a good night, guys.